Hey guys, it's Paul with SlasherIndex.com and did another review for you guys. Last time I did, what was it, Swingers Massacre? This time I have the atrocious, difficult to find, for good reason, Nick Millard's Death Nurse. Can you see that? Death Nurse. This is the original VHS. This is on the Chop 'em Ups line by Video City Productions. They release some other stuff under the Chop 'em Up name, and what was some of them? Inquisition and an Italian movie called Terror, which was in a really cool big box of a guy with a big slash against his throat. That's a really cool box. Here I got Death Nurse. It's said to be really rare, but I got it on eBay for $2 a couple years ago. I don't know how rare it is. There are people actually interested in this movie and the sequel for reasons unknown to me. There's nothing good about Death Nurse. Absolutely nothing. I don't even know why Video City Productions released Death Nurse. And it makes sense that they didn't release Death Nurse 2. Someone else had to release it, so after them seeing this movie, they're like, no, we're not going to do any more of your movies, because Death Nurse 1 sucked, let alone Part 2. So here we got Death Nurse, the regular one, like I said, and the movie was made in 87. The VHS came out, I don't know when. No date on the VHS at all. The movie is an hour long. The artwork's kind of cool. Crazy older looking woman with a bloody knife. A little bit about Nick Millard. Let's see. He released, well, before Satan's Black Wedding, I think it was called, or Criminally Insane. He did a string of porno movies, starting from the 70s. He's your definition of schlock filmmaker. He'll do anything to make a buck. So he started doing the porno. There's always a buck in porn. And then he started to do, I guess, horror became popular. And he did Criminally Insane, Satan's Black Wedding. He did a movie called The Terrorists, which I showed you guys I got at the flea market, which was a really bad movie. It was shot on film and shot in Germany, actually. But the whole video transfer was just inappropriately framed, and it was just really badly done. Bad acting all across the board here. Death Nurse has a lot of the same actors as in Criminally Insane, also known as Crazy Fat Ethel, which is a cooler name, but Criminally Insane is the original name, despite what other people may say. That was released on DVD. It was Criminally Insane, and it was also with Satan's Black Wedding and as a bonus feature, Criminally Insane Part 2, or Crazy Fat Ethel Part 2, whatever. So about Death Nurse. Well, it uses like the same kind of opening, same credits as Criminally Insane, mainly for the reason because it can, because it's the same actors. Some of the people are the same actors, and shot on video. So many problems with this movie. We never really leave the house or the vicinity of the house. Well, the whole story is that you got Edith Mortley and her brother. He's a doctor. She's a nurse, obviously, and they're just caring for people who come in. It's supposed to be like a nursing home medical facility. It's just a house. They try to dress it up like a hospital. It's not even close. They're helping people, but what they're doing is they're scamming Medicare and the government to make some money, and what they're doing, they're killing them, and then just stupid ways. Like one scene, she kills a guy by smothering with a pillow, and then she actually making sure he's dead. She lays on his face. And then, there's some other death scenes and of stabbings, and it's just really badly done, and cross-cutting's ridiculous. It's just too much time, and sometimes the editing, there's a frame stuck in between each cut because they just didn't edit it well. In the credits, there is a name for the cinematographer and like other people, but I'm guessing the names are just made up. Nick Miller probably did the whole thing. I mean, he used the same actors and as Criminally Insane and all that stuff. But the people in this movie are very ugly looking. Not to be mean, but they're very grotesque looking. Some of them are old ladies wearing nightgowns with the boobs sagging out. It's kind of grotesque. I don't know how. I get the vibe that they had this older woman held at gunpoint asking her to do these things for this movie, because I can't imagine an older woman actually being in this schlocky movie shot on video with a home camcorder. Now, some technical problems with the movie. Well, let's see. Some of the scenes last too long. They're just fluffer scenes. Like, he's digging a hole to bury a dead guy in, and he's digging the hole for like 3-4 minutes. It's like, okay, you're digging a hole. You don't have to watch it much longer. Just move on. And then he goes from digging the hole to going inside the house, and eating ice cream. It's like, who cares if he's eating ice cream? And he spends another minute or two scooping ice cream and eating it out of the carton. It's just like, come on, where's this story going? Um, there's not much story. It's just one new person after another coming to the nursing home or whatever and getting killed in different ways. Um, the doctor who, the brother and sister, the nurse and the doctor. The doctor is having an affair with one of the patients there. He's giving her alcohol and he's getting, in return, sex or whatever. And this woman's grotesque. It's like, ugh, why? You really gotta pay for it, man? I mean, come on, get a prostitute. It's disgusting. And like I said, a lot of ugly people in this movie. And there's not many people in this movie. It's probably like 5 or 6 actors. Problem with the movie, besides the obvious, besides, the cross-cutting is done bad and the dialogue is very robotic. It's what you would expect from someone who cannot act at all. When they just, speak robotically. That's exactly how everyone speaks in this movie. But there's weird scenes, more fluff. There's a lot of fluff in this movie, and it's 15 minutes long, so it's still not that long, even after the fluff. But scenes where she's just sleeping, and we're supposed to believe she's having nightmares, and the sequences we see are clips from Criminally Insane, and the clip's about 5-10 minutes long. So I'm like, okay, we've seen this movie before, but this happens 3 times in the movie where we just cut to a scene of her sleeping, and there's clips through from Criminally Insane which have no relationship to the Death Nurse story. They also have scenes where she goes into the death nurse goes into the basement to feed rats, and then they cut to scenes of rats from Criminally Insane, and it's just kind of weird. Another weird thing is that they don't even try to match the scenes for Criminally Insane have music, but the scenes in Death Nurse don't. So it's like you're getting the flashback sequence from Criminally Insane, and then you're cutting back to the modern time, which is Death Nurse, and the audio just cuts off, like the middle of the music just cuts off. It's just really awkward and weird. So that's Death Nurse. What can I say about this movie? It's just atrocious. Shot on video. Feels like people describe it as, Nick Millard went around with a video camera, camcorder, filming it, and then just took the tape right out of the camcorder and shipped it away to Video City Productions to put it in a box. That's what it is. It feels like the deal to make a movie with Video City Productions came before the movie was made, because I can't imagine even Video City Productions, I don't think, would release something as bad as Death Nurse. There's a sequel, Death Nurse. Video City Productions was probably like, no way, we're not releasing Death Nurse 2. The other one was pretty bad. But the story changes a little bit. It takes place from a different part of... I can't explain it. It's just weird. Characters that didn't die in part 1. I mean, they die in part 2, but they die in a different part of the timeline. It's kind of weird. And once again, you're getting clips of Nurse Edith Morley sleeping with the same flashbacks as part 1. So it's just more filler scenes. It's ridiculous. And people keep dying at this place, and no one's doing anything about it. They'll send a detective in, and then she'll kill him, and it's just one after the other. Probably the best actor at both of these movies, part 1 and 2, is a black guy who's like a detective, and he's awesome. I mean, his acting is at least better than the main actors of Death Note. He should have been the doctor, I guess, because... And so yeah, get the tape, throw it into your collection, put it next to your other chop 'em up videos. I'll do another review, and this was Paul with SlasherIndex.com, and have a good day.